uses his speed to get outside. Great job on the outside by 4. James holding his block, doing a nice job down the field on Adam Lynch.
Derek Smith also trying to make the move. As you take a look, the 7-play drive culminated by the 8-yard run by Tolley. But the key play, that 34-yard pass pattern that found Greg Moore in a diving catch inside the 10.
Yeah, just a great play. Great concentration on the outside by Moore. It was all set up by his catch. Sometimes young men and even guys getting paid to play this game, they'll think about the run after catch, but he did a great job of securing the football, making sure to catch the ball. That set up the touchdown by Tolley.
7 plays, 56 yards, and the 8-yard run by Tolley, putting the first points on the board for Bartow. Jeff Watson getting set to put this one back in play. Back deep, White and Roundtree. Instead, it's caught by one of the up men, Brent Renault. Renault across the 30 and down to the 33-yard line.
Trying to get the squib kick to make one of the up backs for the Bulldogs touch the football. It was touched, and then a nice job, number 7, Doherty, down the field for the Yellowjackets. And you can feel the momentum changing, Phil, going to the Yellowjackets right now.
As you can see, the wind picking up here in Daytona Beach, and that's why one of the reasons for a short kick. Decent field position for Bolles as Patrick tries to get something going, and what they do get going is another flag. Every time Bolles snaps the ball, it seems like the yellow kerchiefs come out.
Well, they've really gone conservative in this second quarter, and I think that's due to the fact that Chris Ryer, the quarterback, the starting quarterback, out of the football game. You bring in Rye Patrick. They haven't done a lot of option. They've only thrown one pass, the screen pass. That may pose a problem in this second half if they keep making mistakes in putting themselves in the 1st and 15 positions.
Clock stopped at 3:32. Patrick completing his only pass on that 11-yard hitch. 11-yard screen pass to Antonio Roundtree, and he hasn't even faked a pass since. 5 penalties so far for Bolles. That's been one of the big stories of the game. Handoff to McCray. Looked like it might have been bobbled slightly, but McCray will bull his way forward for a pickup of 3 or 4. Still be second down and close to 12.
You can really tell the Yellow Jacket defense not worried about the quarterback running the football anymore in this wing T offense. They're just solely concentrating on the running backs. They've taken the quarterback out of their thought process of hurting them running the football.
Less than 3 minutes to go in half number 1, and you can tell that things are a little bit calmer for Danny Smith on that Bartow sideline. Bartow looking for their 3rd state championship. Bolles looking for their 5th. Back-to-back, they do have the lead, and they'll look to hold on to it as McCray picks up a nice chunk, close to 12 yards. He's going to be just shy of that first down marker.
Big play that time by William McCray, number 15, the fullback, comes right at you in the middle of the screen. Nice blocking up front. A nice job by the offensive line. You see there, Jason Mahfoud does a nice job up the middle, creating a hole for McCray, and that'll get him close to a first down. Should be a 3rd and a long yard.
When you consider they had to push out of the way Kenny Thornton and Courtney Young, who average over 265 yards. Great blocking by Bolles. Tight power formation. Sharon Dorsey is in there at a tackle position, and McCray will try and run right behind him. Second effort might have gotten him a spot as he will mark it right at the 44-yard line, which is where he needed to get, and it looks like they give him even a little bit more as a first down picked up by McCray on second effort.
Yeah, the fans don't like it for the Yellow Jackets. Let's see where the ball does come to rest. Nice job by McCray. Just inching his way. He got lower than the defensive players. He was close to the 45-yard line. Looked like a good spot.
Somehow burrowed his way underneath all that meat on the Bartow side of the line. Clock ticking at 1:40 and counting as McCray near the half-century mark. You can see the average less than 4 a carry. That's less than half what he averaged in the regular season. So he has been picking up yardage the hard way. Some jumping on that left side of the defensive line. Fidel Donald, the nose linebacker is what they call him. He could drop back or push up, and he pushed up a little bit too quickly there, it looked like.
It looked like. offsides on the defense, the procedure on the defense. But with one timeout remaining, it's 1:29 left to go for the Bulldogs. They really don't pose that quick strike capability through the air. They may more grind it out style, but with only 1:29, you look for maybe that screen pass or maybe to have the quarterback rolling out to try to get out of bounds.
I think Jason Butler might have been talking to the referee about Rye Patrick's snap counts. Might be a little bit of a complaint, but Patrick, the youngster, seems to have been able to gain some composure here in the second quarter. Whether they'll let him put it in the air is a different story. Clock continues to tick. 70 seconds and counting in half number one. Bolles at midfield. He will drop back. The slant pass picked off by the defensive line. Kenny Thornton is rumbling to the 10-5. Touchdown, Bartow.
Great job by the Yellow Jacket defense. You see Kenny Thornton, number 60, he goes at 6'4", 269, just goes up and gets the screen pass, and that was the key play. You wonder if the Bulldog coaches just wanted to be conservative. They rolled the dice, and it didn't come out 7 for the Bulldogs.
In fact, number 7 was the intended target as you take a look, but Des White could do nothing but stare as Kenny Thornton showed some speed for a big man.
Yeah, he sure did. He knew what to do with the football. He's carrying it a little loosely, but did a nice job of going into the end zone. What a huge spark for this Yellow Jacket team going into halftime.
So the interception returned by Thornton all the way for the score. His first interception of the year. The snap will not take place as the flags come down early. Thornton did have 5 sacks, but that might be one of the biggest defensive plays he's made all season long as it's put Bartow in the lead by 3.
Yeah, that one he'll remember for a long time if it stands up. Right now, 13-10 Yellow Jackets doing a great job defensively. We talk so much about the defensive play on both sides. That will determine the ball game. Right now, both defenses playing great, but only that time Kenny Thornton coming up with a big play for the Yellow Jackets.
Jeff Watson, 50 of 54 on extra point attempts this season. Coming into today, the placement, the kick is good. It's 14-10, and Bartow has turned this one around very quickly. In the span of 2.5 minutes, Bartow's put 14 points on the board to take the lead over Bolles. And when you consider that Bolles has lost 3 starters before halftime, it will not be easy for the Bulldogs.
You're right. They tried to set up that screen play to the outside. You'll see the quarterback, Patrick, dropping back, but a huge play, defensive play by Thornton. Does a nice job of just anticipating the screen. He was in the lane, the throwing lane, goes up to get the football, and for a guy that's 269, he moves pretty good.
Congratulations, well deserved on that Bartow sideline. Their defense has stood up to Bolles so far, and ever since Ryer's gone down, Bolles has had their problems.
It looks like that Bulldog offense relied a lot on Ryer's ability to make plays at the quarterback position. Not only rolling out and throwing the football, but running it inside the hashes. A lot of misdirection, a lot of illusions with the football with him coming out. He was only 5'9", tough to tackle, but they did get him, forced him out of the game with a leg injury. Now you have a sophomore quarterback in. Really looks like it limits the offense.
Jazz White, Antonio Roundtree in as the short kick. Bottled at the 23-yard line and finally covered up as White dives into the fray. Looked like Renault wasn't exactly sure where the handle was on that football, and it almost turned into another turnover.
Well, you may think now that this Bulldog offense may want to be conservative, come out and maybe go in only down 4 points, but you never know. You try a screen play with 1 minute, 10 seconds left to go. That turns into a touchdown for the Yellow Jackets. Let's see what Coach Rogers comes out and tries to do offensively with just under 1 minute left to play before halftime.
59 seconds exactly. Slots towards the left side. The handoff up the middle to McCray, who has a hole across the 30-yard line. And finally grabbed there by the Bartow defense. Helping out Ronald Daughtry.
The clock will stop with that first down. The Bulldogs trying to get up to the line of scrimmage, but a nice inside run by McCray. You see him breaking tackles, and he had 11 yards on the carry for a first down.
And off again, McCray. It doesn't look like Bolles is going to put this in the air. 40 seconds and ticking. We'll have some highlights to show you what's going on in this first half of play. Now Bolles got on the board to start things out with their first 10 points. And now Bartow has come back, also show you some stats and also give you a little bit of information in the second half of play as to some awards and honors from a great season in Florida high school football.
Bolles uses their last time out with 35 seconds left to go, down 4 points. You take a look there at Coach Rogers trying to come up with something to get them back on the scoreboard before halftime, but I would think that they're just going to try to run it ahead, go in down 4, and rely on your defense when you come out in the second half. If you can shut out this Yellow Jacket offense in the second half and we can score 1 touchdown, that may be his message at halftime. That's their chance to get back into this football game. They need their defense to shut out the Yellow Jackets in the second half.
35 seconds, clock stopped. Bolles does have the wind with them, but we mentioned only 2 field goals on the entire season coming into today. They need to pick up a large chunk of real estate in a short period of time, and it seems like they're content to just run out the clock. It will be a pickup of a first down. 9 yards on the game for McCray. They'll give him 10 as he's out close to the 49-yard line. Clock stops while they move the chains. 27 seconds left and counting. Figure they need to pick up another 30 to have a chance, and they don't have a timeout. Patrick will drop back. He will put the ball in the air, going towards the outside, and nice grab by Roundtree. Finally brought down after a pickup of 9. The clock will continue to tick at 10.
Yeah, that'll be the last play, it looks like, of the first half.
6 seconds, 5 seconds. Patrick tries the quick snap. Too many men on the field for Bartow. The flag did not come out, though. 1 second left to go as Patrick slams the ball down to stop the clock, and I think Bartow might have gotten away with one right there. They had too many men on the field, and one player caught sprinting out, but the refs did not throw a flag.
Yeah, to Rye Patrick's credit, that last pass was terrific. The receiver was well covered. He did a nice job of throwing the football to the outside to give his receiver the best chance of catching the football. A nice throw that time down the field by Patrick.
Bringing in some big beef for Bolles on that offensive line, and most likely this is Hail Mary time for the Bulldogs. They trail by 4. And over a span of just over 2.5 minutes, Bartow putting 14 points on the board. You can understand if Bolles is a little shell-shocked. Flags come down. Delay. You have to wonder, 5'8", 152 pounds, if the sophomore has enough motor in that engine to get it down into the end zone.
Yeah, the Bulldogs bring in a defensive back, Marcus Odom. He's playing wide receiver. Maybe use his speed to go down the field and let Patrick throw it as far as he can. Maybe good things will happen with 1 second left to go.
Odom split out on that right side when they get this thing set again. Corky Rogers pacing the Bulldogs sideline and now out into the offensive huddle. Just 1 tick left to go. Both of these teams have had the chance to be in championship games before, and every time they have been here, they've won. Bolles looking for their 5th. Bartow actually did have another championship back in the 1970s. They look for their 3rd in school history. But Bolles has been one of the most dominating teams since the mid-80s, and dominant in the nation right now, #1, but they have had a hard-fought game against the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, head coach Danny Smith, you take a look at him at the sidelines. He sends his defensive coordinator out on the field to say, hey, there's 1 second left. Look for the ball to go down the football field. Let's give him a little bit of cushion. Don't let anybody get behind our deepest man.
To tell you the truth, they are playing somewhat tight. And actually a new quarterback in to try and throw the ball down. Travis Thurman. The long ball will be picked off at the 15-yard line. Right there, the coach's son, Derek Smith, pulls it down, and the first half will come to a close on another turnover. They put in the stronger gun by Travis Thurman, but the accuracy was not there. And Bartow, a surprising end to the second quarter, has taken the lead 14-10 at the half. Bolles on the ropes. We'll show you how we got here and also show you some stats when we come back with the halftime festivities. That's all next on Sports Channel. Welcome back to Kelly Field in Daytona Beach. Bolles had the 10-0 lead, but Bartow coming back with 2 quick touchdowns to take the 14-10 lead at the half. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Phil Shane, John Congemi, and we talked about what Bolles was able to do early, but when their quarterback went down, Chris Ryer, that seemed to turn the whole stage.
It really did. It looked like the Bulldogs were dominating the first part of this game, but I think Bartow showed great poise and great patience in letting their defense come up with some big plays. Offensively, they caught up in the second half, and now they have the momentum.
Absolutely. We take a look at the early going when Ryer was still in there, and things looked good for the Bulldogs, but this is the play that might have turned the story.
This may have turned the whole game. He was the ignition. He was the guy running the offense, and his right leg gets caught underneath him. He goes out of the football game with a leg injury. He will not return.
However, they brought in Rye Patrick, and when he was handing the ball off, it worked most of the time.
Yeah, Big McCray goes in for his 30th touchdown on this season. He's just been carrying the load in the backfield for the Bulldogs.
Bartow trying to get things going, and this was a great little hitch pattern. Greg Moore breaking deep.
Yeah, Tolley does a nice job just getting it close, and then Moore does an even better job of just securing the pass. Big play for that offense.
You saw what type of arm Tolley had. Now we'll show you some of the footwork that he has. Keeping his balance, which has been tough to do on a sloppy field here, but he gets the outside corner.
Just uses his speed to get to the outside, then lowers his shoulder inside the 3-yard line, dives over for the score. That was when the momentum was changing towards Bartow.
Patrick tries to get something going for the Bulldogs. This one, though, read perfectly by the D.
Yeah, with a minute left to go before halftime. Just a great defensive play by Thornton. He's 269 pounds. He doesn't look like it in this shot. Going in for the touchdown, a huge interception return for Bartow. That puts him up where we stand at 14-10.
A 4-point lead for the Yellowjackets at the half. We'll have the statistics and move our way closer to the second half kickoff when we continue on Sports Channel. Welcome back to Daytona Beach. The Bulldogs have another 24 minutes to go to try and hold on to the #1 spot in the nation, but they find themselves trailing by 4 at the half. Take a look at the statistics, and statistically the Bulldogs have all of things going in their favor, especially time of possession. It has been all Bulldogs.
Yeah, you're right. Almost 17 minutes, over 17 minutes for the Bulldogs, but Bartow, they only have 2 first downs, but big plays on defense. That's the way they've come into this ball game. Penalties have hurt the Bulldogs as well early in this game.
Still 2 quarters left to go, and Bartow looking perhaps for the upset of the year. We'll have the second half kickoff when we come back on Sports Channel. 14-10, Bartow leads it. Class 4A state championship on the line, and the national title as well. We'll show you the graphic again a little bit later on today as to who might be keeping their fingers crossed and pulling for the Yellowjackets. But a lot on the line for both of these teams. The short kickoff off the boot of Des White, and 3 Yellowjackets combine. Jason Tyson pulling the ball down before he's tackled by his own team.
Yeah, actually works out fine. If you're a Bulldog, you go down, you keep the team close to the 20-yard line. That is the Yellowjackets. They'll start from their own 22-yard line.
Chandron Tolley still in at quarterback. And he has been very effective from the second quarter on. Marcus Floyd, the fullback behind him. In motion, Brewer. Tolley on the option, runs into the guard in front of him. Nick Lisbon didn't move quick enough. That forces Tolley to try and cut inside, and he does pick up about 2 or 3.
Yeah, you look for much of the same from this Yellowjacket offense. It's all going to start with their quarterback, Tolley, number 11, just doing a good job, making good decisions on the option, coming outside, when to dish it off and when to cut it up inside. That time he decides to cut it up inside for a gain of 2 on first down. Charlie
James and Greg Moore, he of the acrobatic catch, the split ends. The slot backs, Terrell Parham and Vince Brewer, and the tailback, Marcus Floyd. Handoff goes to Parham around left end, and he is promptly met and sent to the ground by Travis Carroll. The 6'3" senior comes up with another big hit.
Well, this #1 team in the nation doesn't want to come out and play flat in this third quarter. They want to go back in this football game. Does a nice job coming up and filling the hole. Carroll, 44 for the Bulldogs.
Matt Chenault, Jason Butler, Mitch Murphy, Nick Lisbon, and Courtney Young, the offensive line in front of Tolley. And facing a 3rd down and 8, they need to get out to their own 32-yard line and just beyond that to get there and tally 50%. Only 2 yards a carry. Short pass almost picked off. The flags come down as looked like Ronald Daughtry reaching up to grab a hold of that one. Actually, Nakoa Woodruff. But even before they had the ball snapped, the flags come down. Illegal procedure penalty, and they'll move back 5 yards, making it a 3rd down and 13.
The Yellow Jackets coming out in a trips right formation, then try to go to a quads formation to overload the right side. Again, Dorsey, 88, alertly jumps up and tries to deflect the football, but the procedure penalty will bring it back to a long 3rd down try.
Shotgun formation. A little confusion on the Bulldogs defense. Long pass over Moore's hands and bounds to the turf harmlessly. Des White in on the coverage. And it will be 4th down and long in a punting situation against the wind for the Bulldogs. They should come away with good field position here.
You're right. Nice job by the defense. Bolles comes out, does a nice job. 3 downs and out for the defense. They want to get the ball back in the hands of their offense. Try to shorten this field for their young quarterback, Patrick.
Jason Butler steps back. Got 41 yards in his only punt of the first half. This one much more difficult. Tries to get a little bit of roll out of it, and it will bounce out of bounds at the Bartow 47-yard line as it sailed towards the sideline. Good field position for Bolles. Lots of awards coming out as the seasons come to a close, and at halftime today, they ended up handing out the Coach of the Year award.
Robbie Pruitt there on your right from Union County. He's done a terrific job throughout his career. He gets his 3rd consecutive state title. He was 3A Coach of the Year. Just does a nice job. Tremendous athletes on that football team.
Live Patrick. Handoff McCray. And it looked like Vidal Donald almost got into the backfield as quick as the handoff took place. McCray able to make a little gain out of what should have been a loss. 2nd down and 9. Patrick in at quarterback, 5'8" sophomore. The interception in the first half costly as Thornton returned it all the way for a touchdown.
Yeah, the beauty of football, though, Phil, he gets another chance. He's got 9 minutes and 40 seconds left to go and counting to try to get his offensive team back into this football game.
The throw towards the outside and bounding to the turf. Intended for Marcus Odom. Mr. Florida for 1996, Travis Henry, a man who was smashing records that had not been broken in over 40 years. From Frostproof High School, the best running back performance in history. Over 4,000 yards in the ground in one season. 9:33. Clock stopped on the incomplete. Lateral towards the outside. Roundtree will turn the corner across the 40, and the hard hit there brings him down just shy of the 1st down.
Nice play on the outside by Brent Renew, number 8. Did a good job blocking and setting up the run for Roundtree. He was on the outside. He pins the defensive back for the Yellow Jackets to the inside. Now it's all speed for Antonio Roundtree. He gets outside. He's the senior on this team. He's one of the leaders in that backfield. Sets up a 4th and short.
See, Danny Smith was also in the running for Coach of the Year, the Class 4A award going to him. He just settled for a state title at the moment. So it's 4th down and short in a power formation. It looks like Patrick might be trying either an audible or to call off.
Trying to draw him off sides. Didn't work, though. They've done that in the past. In the first half, they were jumping off sides where the Yellow Jacket defense a little anxious to get started. Now they take the timeout, and Coach Rogers will come on and try to decide if they are indeed going to go for this 4th down try.
They are just outside the Bartow 38-yard line. It would be way too long for a field goal, and a punt might have the chance of sailing into the end zone. A little bit surprised, though. If Des White is able to send the ball towards the sideline, you could have Bartow in the shadow of their own goal.
What I like about this huddle is the head coach is in there. It looked like he was going to his big players. He's asking his center, what do you think will work? He's looking at his big offensive and defensive lineman, Dorsey, who you see there, 62, and Roundtree, and a lot of guys in there trying to get their thoughts on what they think will work. There's a lot of input going back and forth, a relaxed and a confident huddle, even though they're down 14-10. This is the #1 team in the nation right now, and the Yellow Jackets are on the verge of a huge upset.
You can see as Corky Rogers walks off, Antonio Roundtree in the huddle also having a few words to say, trying to get the Bulldogs fired up. And on a cold day in Daytona, it's 4th and short. They will go for it. Patrick, the handoff. McCray turns the corner, picks up the first down and more. Only a fingertip grab by Ronald Daughtry prevented the big fullback from getting even more, but he's at the 33-yard line, 1st and 10 Bulldogs.
Phil, there's always about 5 or 6 plays that determine the outcome of a game. This could be one of them. You go back and you see the catch of Moore for the Yellow Jackets. You go back and you'll take a look at this play by McCray later in this football game on 4th and 2. They got it done. The Bulldogs got it done at the line of scrimmage. That could come back and give them a little bit of momentum to get this drive into the end zone.
8:40 and counting. Ball just outside the 32-yard line as Bulldogs fighting for the lead. Patrick, McCray, 30-yard line to the 29, and not much more, but a pickup of 4 as McCray rumbles closer towards that 100-yard mark. Over 60 on the game so far.
Yeah, Maurice Whitaker that time for the Yellow Jackets. He's a defensive end. He goes at 6'4", 221, also a senior. That both defenses have terrific athletes on that defensive front. Whitaker just one of them, along with Thornton and Young for Bartow. Doing a nice job. This drive right now coming out in the 3rd quarter, getting the punt, stopping the Yellow Jackets on offense. The offense of the Bulldogs comes onto the field, doing a nice job moving the football down the field.
And off to Roundtree. And Daughtry reaches out an arm and brings him to the turf.
Nice play call that time, trying to get outside, trying to get the ball into the fleet-footed hands of Roundtree, trying to get him to bust it on the outside off right tackle, but a good play by that defense. Doherty, number 7, in on the stop along with 75, Whitaker.
So a 3rd down, call it 7. 7:25 and counting. Des White and Roundtree out towards the right side. Looks like it could have been motion, but they'll let the play stand. They'll pass up the middle to White. In and out of his arms, incomplete. 4th down again.
Yeah, Des White, he does all the kicking. He plays defensive back. This time he's in wide receiver. The ball just led him a little bit too far inside. There was a lot of traffic there. Little bad snap, quarterback center exchange, but the ball is thrown on him just a touch more. It was in a good spot. He could have caught it, but a lot of traffic in there. Just took his head off the football at the last moment.
McCray and Reese in the backfield most of the time. A long field goal attempt as Roundtree will sit down. It would be 47 yards. Des White with the kick. Might have the distance, and it does. Just sneaking over the crossbar. It looked like it might sail out towards the right, but it started to curl back in and just makes it over the crossbar. The longest field goal of his career, 47 yards, and it's a 1-point game.
Oh, terrific kick by White. He comes back after dropping the pass on 3rd down, gets a great leg into this kick, and I tell you, he used all of that leg because the ball just crossed the crossbar. Good for 3 points. That brings the Bulldogs back up to only down 1 point in this state championship ball game.
He played the wind correctly because it's kind of leaning towards that near corner of the end zone, and as he pushed it out towards the right, the wind brought it back and helped it over the crossbar. 47 yards as Corky Rogers' team now within 1 point of Bartow.
Yeah, Coach Rogers trying to get that team excited, that special team. A nice job on 4th down to set up the opportunity to get the 3 points. It's on the defensive shoulders for the Bulldogs right now.
Low kick will bound past Parham. Fielded at the 10. Brewer at the 20. To the 25-yard line and out to the 26, and that is where the Yellow Jackets will start out. 8-play, 26-yard drive for Jacksonville Bulls, eating up 7 minutes, or make that 5 minutes on the clock. 47-yard field goal. And it's 14-13. Tolley back out at quarterback for the Yellow Jackets. 4-man front and a blitz. Tolley to the outside. He'll pitch it. Turning the corner. Nice carry that time by Brewer. Still knocked out at the 40-yard line. A flag did come down, and it looked like it might have been holding as Brewer tried to turn the corner on the left side.
Yeah, Charlie James for the Yellow Jackets outside. It looked like a clean block initially when I was watching it the first time. We'll take a look at it if we have a replay to see if there was holding on the outside by number 4, Charlie James. Looked like he did a good job enabling his running back to get downfield, but it's all going to come back due to the holding call. Up on top of the screen right there, it doesn't look like holding. He did a good job getting in the way and trying to pin the defensive back for the Bulldogs inside. The holding might have occurred early, but it wasn't there on the replay.
Looked like James made an effort to just block with his shoulder and keep his arm down just in case. But it will be a 10-yard penalty, and that one hurts, as they would have been out close to midfield on the solid carry by Brewer. Instead, they're inside their own 20, facing a 1st and 20.
Yeah, this is the second series for this offense, for this Yellow Jacket offense. They go 3 plays and out in the first series. Now they're first down and a long way to go, pinned back on their own 16-yard line.
5 wideouts, no one in the backfield as Woodruff.
Watch for a quarterback draw here.
The blitz, the pass up the middle, it's a center screen, and there's a chance for Woodruff across the 30, to the 35 and 40. Solid play by Woodruff, finally taken out by Keith Blankenship across the 40-yard line. Well drawn out, well executed, and a good pass by Tollison, and a great run by Woodruff.
Great play call, spread the defense out. Danny Smith does a nice job. 5 wide receivers into the ball game. Try to spread them out and try to use the middle of the football field. That's exactly what happened. A big play that time by Woodruff.
1st and 10. Option, right side. Pitch coming out. Jason Tyson.
Big play that time by number 7, Des White, for the Bulldog defense. Really came up and stuck number 9, Parham, on the option play. You see here Tallis just dumping it out to the outside, and Little goes up, and that's why they call him Little. He doesn't bull over a lot of people, but he does a good job. But Des White, a big stick for that Bulldog defense.
Parham again in motion. Tolley dropping back, looking deep for Brewer, and just overthrew him. He had him open on the slant on the right hash mark, but could not put it in his arms.
You see now this Yellow Jacket offense really opening up. They go to a 5 receiver package. They throw the middle screen. They go to a 2 or 3 wide receiver package. They want to try to spring Brewer down the middle of the football field, letting Tolley use his athletic ability. He's the senior. He's the guy that's making the good decisions on the option play, also making great decisions throwing the football.
Clock stopped, 6 minutes, 2 seconds left to go. Tolley averaging over 56% as a thrower. That one just off target. The pitch, Brewer. Brewer wrapped up. It'll be a loss of 2. Good pressure defense. And finally there to wrap it up, Travis Carroll, as Matt Larmailleux slowed him down in the backfield.
Nice job on the outside by Larmailleux, doing a good job at the defensive back position. He had help from the inside. Number 44, Carroll. You'll take a look at him coming from the middle of the football field to help out, but a nice job by the Bulldog defense sets up a 4th down.
6 to go, so they'll punt. Jason Butler dropping back into punt formation. White and Roundtree back deep for Bolles. Line drive kick fielded at the 20 by Roundtree. They will reverse, and White is slammed. A matchup of 7s, as coming up with the solid play, Ronald Daughtry just planting Des White.
Wow, that was a devastating hit. I wasn't sure if the ball was going to be handed off on the reverse, and I'm sure number 7, Des White, would want not to get the football, but you see Doherty right there just leveling White, lowering his shoulders and his helmet right underneath his chin, and that's just a textbook tackle right there by that Yellow Jacket special team.
I think White might just be having second thoughts about that Christmas present he was going to get Roundtree.
Yeah, why did you give it to me, Antonio? I didn't want the football.
5:11 left to go. Handoff up the middle. McCray will pick up close to 3. Bulldogs just a point down. and they'd like to get something going with the wind here as they still have 5 minutes to go in the third.
Yeah, that could be a key play for the Yellow Jacket offense and special teams, just pinning the Bulldogs back in their own end. They take a lot of time to move the football down the field with 4:45 and counting. If this wind changes and the score stays the same way, it's going to take a great drive in this fourth quarter to go against the wind.
McCray and Reese in the backfield behind Patrick. Handoff on the reverse. Reese getting the handoff from McCray, and he will dance his way through for a pickup of 3 or 4. I'm sure on the blackboard it picked up a little bit more, but some trickery from the Bulldogs.
Yeah, great deception that time. Reese getting the handoff. You'll see there Patrick handing the ball off on the inside. Nice spin move by Reese, and Patrick even on the outside as a quarterback trying to deliver a blow, trying to get in the defender's way, but a nice job that time by number 9, Eugene Reese, the sophomore running back.
Des White and Gene Reese to the near side. Reese will now move to the backfield as Roundtree flanks to the left. Tight end to the right. Patrick hands it off. They'll run right, and McCray will bull his way forward close to the 30-yard line. Looks like they'll give him the 29, which would be good enough for the first down.
Yeah, nice offensive play by that line that time for the Bulldogs, trying to win that line of scrimmage. It's getting late in this football game. Under 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter, and now it's time. Who wants it the most? Who's tired on offense and defense? Who's going to get it done in the trenches? That will determine who's going to win this football game.
Mahfoud, Regan, Hillard, Thompson, and Evans on the offensive line. They've done a good job. Reese rolling around the right side, picks up close to 5.
Using Reese a little bit more now than McCray, the Bulldogs offense in the backfield, trying to use McCray as a decoy and spring Eugene Reese. Looks like he has a lot of speed if he can find some open room or a little bit of a crease. A nice job on first down that time, gaining 6 yards.
3 minutes, 4 seconds and counting. Reese now 4 carries, 24 yards. 6-yard average, and he picked up his average there. Second, they'll hand off to Reese again, and hits the first tackle and spins to the inside, but Al Donald did not wrap him up. Finally brought down by Maurice Tucker. It'll be a third down and a short 2.
Maurice Tucker does a nice job. He's unblocked, so he needs to come across the line of scrimmage. He squares up in the hole and does a nice job. Just a perfect form tackle on number 9, Reese. Good job on the outside by 21, Tucker.
Third and short. Teron Dorsey lining up at left guard, and they will run behind the 320-pounder who just plowed open a hole for McCray to dive through.
That time they do find McCray, number 15. He gets into the ball game a little bit more, carrying the football this time for a first down, and keeps those sticks moving. That's key. A great drive starting inside the 20-yard line. Back-to-back first downs for the Bulldogs.
22 carries, 96 yards from McCray, just 4 away from the century mark. Under 2 minutes to go in quarter number 3, a quarter that has been dominated as far as time of possession again by the Bulldogs. They still trail by 1. Ball at their own 42. Patrick, handoff, McCray. Again, high stepping his way out for a gain of 4.
Nice job by that offensive line of the Bulldogs. You'll take a look at them. Anderson, Thompson, Evans, a lot of guys up front doing a great job. You got to throw in Dorsey, too, number 62. He's going both ways for the Bulldogs, at defensive tackle and at offensive guard and tackle. Right now, it looks like he's playing right tackle for this Bulldog offense.
He plowed open the hole for the first down. That time, Billy Regan, perhaps on a trap play, opened the door. Over 100 yards now for McCray. And he will pick up hardly anything here, a yard at most. Regan could not open a hole that time as Woodruff was there to close it. 54, 53, 52 and counting left to go in quarter number 3. Third down and a long 6. They need to get to the Bartow 48-yard line to get the first down.
Looks like they're going to spread the field a little bit. A lot of the big people went off of the football field. Some of the more skilled people come in for the Bulldog offense.
Travis Thurmond again in at quarterback He has the better arm. 5'9", 170-pound freshman. Rolling, keeping his footing, trying to get to the outside. Ball in the air. It's tipped at the last moment by Daughtry. It looked like he might have had someone open. Renault was open down that right sideline, and a good gun by Travis Thurmond almost found him.
Yeah, Thurmond almost found his receiver, but even more key, there's 21 seconds left to go. The Bulldogs can use that wind-aided punt to try to win some field position right now and win the football game in the fourth quarter. Huge play right now coming up by number 7, Des White. Needs to get a good kickoff for the Bulldogs.
Back deep, Parham and Moore inside their own 15-yard line as White booms the ball towards the near sideline, but too close, and this one will roll out around the 20-yard line, and they will actually mark this one even a little bit closer to the 23-yard line. A great opportunity. Good coaching by Rodgers to call the pass on third down to get the chance to punt with the wind, but White could not respond.
Yeah, nice play call that time, trying to get Thornton on the outside, or Thurmond on the outside to deliver the ball. Didn't happen, but at least they're going to win field position. Now it's up to their defense. We talked about it at halftime. It's going to be up to this Bulldog defense to shut out Bartow in the second half. So far, they haven't been on the field to even make a name for themselves. Speaking of that Yellow Jacket offense.
Dorsey, Fagan, and Matthews, the center of that Bulldog defense. Brewer cutting his way through, finally brought down by Mark DiOrio at the 30-yard line. A nice chunk of 7 yards on first down. 2 seconds, 1 second, and that will do it. The third quarter has come to a close. 12 minutes remain in a one-point game. Who will be the Class 4A champions? We still have another quarter to decide. It comes your way next on Sports Channel. At Daytona's Municipal Stadium, the Class 4A championship on the line. The handoff up the middle on the second and short, and sent promptly back. Brewer did not get anything on that one. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 3. And the broadcast rights to today's telecast have been granted to Sports Channel by the Florida High School Activities Association, solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction, transmission, or other use of this program without the express written consent of Sports Channel is prohibited.
Nice play defensively that time by Sam Matthews. 6'6", 275 pounds. He's a senior, one of those guys, as is Dorsey, an anchor on defense for the Bulldogs.
Jones to the left, Moore to the right. Tolley in shotgun formation. He's looking to the right. Fires the ball underneath to Terrell Parham, who picks up the first down. It's a gain of 4, but that's all they needed. 1st and 10 at their own 34.
Nice play by Tolley, the senior quarterback, finding his receiver Parham on the outside, trying to move to his right to use a little bit more of time to elude the pressure, finds the receiver, a big first down.
You see Bartow starting to get some things going in the third quarter, but still the statistics almost dominated wholeheartedly by Bolles. They still trail by 1, though. Bartow only a quarter left. Tolley to the outside, making a nice cut. Parham at the 45, and finally pushed out just beyond midfield. It'll be 1st and 10 at the Bolles 49-yard line. Tolley, a late pitch, and Parham was able to get the opening down the left sideline.
Tolley showing great presence and great patience to hold the football. That's the first time this Bulldog defense has lost containment. You see right there, Laramie, number 42, the strong safety, cuts inside. Tolley sees that, holds on to the football a little longer, dishes it out to Parham. Big play, and our cameraman actually makes the stop. Josh, great play down there.
Actually making the tackle, and that's what happens. Great block by Charlie James also to allow Parham to turn the corner. Handoff this time to Marcus Floyd, who'll try and cut in on the right side, but stopped for a loss of 1 right at the midfield stripe.
Well, this is the ball game right here with 10:49 left to go. As you see the hit from the previous play, Josh did a good job of trying to keep his feet, but as you can see, a lot of sky. That's what you see when you're a quarterback right there when you get sacked. That's a good shot.
I don't know, we should probably freeze that and just see, make sure he's wearing the right cleats. 10:32, shotgun formation again for Tolley. Wideouts left and right, and in the slot to the left side, Terrell Parham. Parham open up the middle and making the run down deep. The pass intended for Parham, but he runs straight up the back of Keith Blankenship. No flag down there, but there is a flag in the backfield, and it is a clip.
maybe a chop block by one of the offensive linemen coming in, trying to protect their quarterback, Tolley. But I was going to say, with 10:17 left to go, this is a crucial time for the Bulldogs from Jacksonville. It's really tough. It's really tough for them to go 60, 70, 80 yards because they do not throw the football effectively with their starter out of the ball game. They need to win this field position battle. They need to only go 40 or 50 yards, but they have the capability of chewing up a lot of time in doing that.
(14-13) the score right now, but you take a look, it's been a story of quarters. Bulls starting out with 10. Bartow responds with 14. The lone field goal in the third, making it the 1-point game. Whoever owns the fourth will own the championship. Bartow right now just playing for a tie in this quarter. That would be nice for them. Again, Tolley facing a third down and huge. Second down. Tolley. Long pass up that right sideline, out of bounds. A nice acrobatic catch by Moore, trying to make the grab, but it would have gone for naught anyway. That will bring up third down.
That time it looked like the wind had something to do with keeping the football outside. It should blow it back into the football field, but Tolley just throwing it over the head of Moore out of bounds really didn't give him an opportunity to go up and get the football.
Bartow has had their problems in the fourth quarter in the past. You take a look. 44 points the margin, and you just take a look where they've normally won games. It's right before the half and after. They have led in every quarter, though, and they like to do it one more time this year. Murphy, the center. Deep snap is Tolley about 7 yards back. And a flag will come down for delay of game. Tolley having a few last-minute instructions for Charlie James, and it took too long. And the Bartow drive, which had gone across midfield.
Looks like they called timeout before the penalty. Maybe the center, Murphy, calls timeout before the penalty call, so that'll keep the ball right on about the 29-yard line. It's crucial right now, a third down. They don't want to go back any further.
Take a look, and smart play by the center, Mitch Murphy. 6'2" junior, seeing what was going on and realizing there was not much time left to go, and also some confusion as James apparently did not know what play was called. A lot of talent on both of these two teams. Bulls in particular don't get to be #1 in the nation without having some good players. And take a look at some of the schools where these players are going. I mean, Sharon Dorsey, Michigan and Penn State, Big Ten football, and the Knowles would like to get their hands on him. Matthews, McCray, Dyer. Arkansas had been hoping that he would be doing fine.
You can definitely tell why those schools, especially the state schools, are interested in these young men. A lot of talent on both sides of the football in this state championship 4A game.
Tolley dropping back, pressured, eludes the two defensive tackles, dodges another player, and actually gets across the 35 to the 37. Sharon Dorsey a little frustrated. He thought he had him, but Billy Regan finally comes up with the hit. And with the fourth down and a mile, with under 10 minutes left to go, it will be punting time for Bartow.
Tolley does a nice job of eluding the initial pass rush, still looking down the field, wanting to throw the football. Makes a nice move there, but one of those seniors, Billy Regan, 59, he's been a starter from his freshman year for Coach Rogers. He makes the stop for the Bulldogs.
Jason Butler will punt it away. Short punt, but it will take a Yellow Jacket roll all the way inside the 30 to the 25 and down to the 20 and inside. A 44-yard punt by Jason Butler, who has taken full advantage of the wind.
Big punt by Butler that time with 9:21 remaining. It's forcing the Bulldogs to really go 81 yards for a touchdown, but against this wind, they're going to have to go close, probably close to the 15 or 20-yard line to even have a field goal opportunity.
Rye Patrick back in at quarterback. They have seemed somewhat more dangerous when Travis Thurmond is out there. Patrick will hand the ball up the middle, and McCray through the center of the line again and out to the 26-yard line, about 3 yards shy of a first down.
Nice inside running that time by McCray, 15. That should bring him over the 100-yard mark. Does a nice job running in tight space. He doesn't need a lot of room to make his moves. Does a good job of keeping his shoulders square and protecting the football. I think that's a quality of any runner going inside the tackle, is really protecting the football, and he's done a great job of that all day.
Renault split towards the right side. Roundtree flanks to the right. Handoff. And McCray picks up maybe a yard before he's wrapped up there. But Al Donald coming over from that nose linebacker position to wrap him up, and Ronald Daltrey also getting a hit. Take a look at what Bartow brings to the table. 15 senior starters, and they have definitely responded in the second half. Some stupid penalties in half number one and some mistakes that have totally disappeared in the second half. As far as Bolles, 13 senior starters, and 6, 7, 8, 9 starters will end up coming back next year. Power formation for Bolles. The handoff to McCray, and he's grabbed behind the line and hog-tied down. Nice tackle by Maurice Tucker coming up from his linebacker position to stop him before he can get the first down.
Big decision right now for Corky Rogers, the head coach for the Bulldogs. It looks like it's going to be 4th and short. McCray trying to go off left tackle, but a nice job from behind. Good job by that defense of the Yellow Jackets. It looked like Donald again, 57, coming down with the tackle from behind.
Des White, who would be punting the ball, is jogging towards the sideline.
That was Young, 55 from behind, not Donald, 57, but a great job of pursuit from the inside of that Yellow Jacket defense.
With Donald on the sideline, they pull the chains out, and Corky Rogers' expression lets you know.
Well, he's thinking
that
about,
Bolles is short.
Yeah, right. He's thinking about what he's going to do. Does he want to give the football back to that Yellow Jacket team, or is he going to go for the game right now with 7:49 left to go?
This could be the game. Less than 8 minutes to go, and if they do not get the first down, Bartow already within field goal distance. Patrick might just keep it himself and try and burrow his way through. Instead, he'll hit up McCray, and he stopped. He stopped. He lost a yard on the play. Bartow takes over inside the Bolles 30. A gutsy call that backfires for the Bulldogs.
Huge defensive stand that time by the Yellow Jacket defense. You can't give enough credit to Wright, Thornton, Young, and Whitaker up front for that defensive front. You see right there, huge play. Also number 10, Woodruff, in on the stop. Just a great play that time by the Yellow Jacket defense.
It looks like they might have given him a very favorable spot, though.
He wasn't close to that first down. Wow, that was a huge spot.
Both sides a little emotional at the moment, and you can just hear the boos rain down from the Bartow sideline. It did not appear anywhere near where the ball was marked that McCray got. They gave him probably an extra yard, it looked like, and that was enough.
It looked like Woodruff really stuffed McCray behind the line of scrimmage, and I know McCray's a great runner, and they have a big offensive line, but it didn't look like they had enough yardage for the first down. In any event, they do, and now let's see how they respond to that with 7 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in this football game.
3 for 3 for Bolles on 4th down plays. First down could be a problem, as Travis Thurman, the quarterback did not like what he saw and calls the timeout, and Corky Rogers will come out to set things up. So Patrick on the sideline, Thurman in, who apparently has a little bit better arm, and the two sides will try and talk this one out. What a momentum shift that could be. If this was 1st and 10 for Bartow inside the 30, this game might be over.
You're right. They'd have a chance to get in and go in for a score and maybe put this game out of reach. Now the Bulldogs they retain possession of the football, and now you got to think Coach Rogers is going out and saying, listen, we have the ball with 7:23 left to go in this football game. Let's not give it back. Let's take this drive all the way down the field. They've dominated the time of possession in this football game. Let's do it one more time. Let's win the game right here, take it down, give ourselves an opportunity to either kick a short field goal or take it in the end zone.
1 point lead for the Yellow Jackets as they try and shut down another inexperienced quarterback. Patrick has come in and done okay, but take a look at Travis Thurman and the young freshman. A lot of responsibility on his shoulders.
Yeah, as a freshman, he's going to be asked to maybe move outside of the pocket, throw the football a little bit. He's going to have to get it done at quarterback.
Reese Flanked on the near side behind Roundtree. The handoff comes up the middle, and McCray will pick up another chunk of 3. Tackle made by Courtney Young. Donald helping out.
Both defenses, you can't say enough about them. They have 9 starters on that defense for Bartow, 7 starters on the defense.